Hi Fixer family, it's Charmin, and I'm jumping in here super quick here in the beginning, here in my messy craft room, getting me all natural today. But I wanted to share with you guys that yes, as you know, September the 1st of launching my website did not happen. There are so many details to launching a website, and I wanted to make sure that it was perfect for you guys. So the new launch date, and yes, this one has happened, I'm holding myself to it, it's going to happen on September the 15th. Now for those of you that follow me over on Instagram and saw my stories know that it didn't happen, of course, but I did want to let you guys know here on YouTube. And if you guys don't follow me over there, make sure you run over there and check out. I'm at Charmin_Fixin'2, so that you guys can stay connected with me a little bit more behind the scenes. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump in to today's projects, where I'm bringing you some more fantastic pumpkin fall projects. Welcome to Fixin' 2. On this first project, a few simple items. We're going to start with a roll of toilet paper, and I'm going to pull some of it off, and then we're just going to kind of gather it together and wrap it back around the outside, just kind of twisting it just a little bit there at the end and tucking it in. And that just kind of, for a thinner fabric, it gives you a little bit more of kind of a bulk to it. You can make it as big as you want to by pulling off more toilet paper. So then what I'm going to do is, I have some scrap fabric, and I kind of cut these pieces approximately 18 by 18 inches. And we're just going to place our toilet paper roll in the center, and then just pulling up on one side, tucking it in, and then taking and just continuing to pull it. And for some reason I could not seem to gather it and grab it like I needed to, but I finally get it. And you're just going to pull it in, and of course you can make this as, you know, pleated and very uniform as you want. I wanted mine more rough and rustic, so I just kind of grabbed and gathered and then just stuffed that extra right down in the center of the toilet paper. Now guys, you'll see that I'm not using any kind of glue or anything to hold this together, because it holds just fine. And I just gathered some sticks from in the back and cut them, and I'm just going to place one down in the center, and then I grabbed some different pieces of greenery that I had, tried some different things. I really didn't like the way that this looked, so I wound up pulling some of my fall picks, and I grabbed a couple of the leaves with the berries in it, and I think this just turned out so stinking cute for this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and probably cut about halfway down on that wire stem, so that it'll stick right down in there with the stem on there, and I think it turned out so cute. For the next one, I'm not going to pull any of the toilet paper off and wrap it around, because this is more of a canvas fabric. It's a little bit thicker, and so I didn't really need that extra bulk on there, but I'm going to be doing it exactly the same way. I'm just going to get it in the center, and then just begin to tuck it in, pulling in your shorter sides first, and then gathering up and, you know, stuffing it down in there. And you will see that it does get pretty thick in the center, and so I have to take a little tool. I use the handle of my wire cutters there to actually push it down in there. Now doing the exact same thing as far as the other, using a stick as a stem, pushing it down in there. And guys, I wanted a little bit more whimsy on this one. I love these pit berries that you can, I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I think it was 40% off in their fall florals section and everything, and I just pulled off cut off a piece of it. You want it a little bit longer than what this actual size, because as you take it and wrap it around, as you see I'm using a stick, you can use a pencil, a pen, or anything that you may have, your finger, and then just taking and wrapping it around there to create those little spirals, and then you just slide it off and then stretch it out like you want it, how long, and sticking it down in there. And to me, this was also very cute. I just love how all of these pumpkins turn out. On this last pumpkin, I had already tucked it in there, and you see how this was a very thick burlap, and it left a huge piece in the middle that wouldn't push down in there. And so I just kind of bunched it up there and kind of made it look like a stem on itself, and decided that I wanted to use pit berries and ribbon on this. And I probably cut off about maybe 12 inches. I didn't measure it, but and then I'm going to go in, and I wound up taking these pit berries off and putting the ribbon on there. And I didn't tie a bow, I just tied it on there, and just one good time. And then I'm going to go back in with the pit berries, pulling those in, twisting them in the middle, and then of course creating those little spirals using a stick again. I then go ahead and cut some dovetails in the bottom of the ribbon and finish it up. And I think these just turned out so stinking cute. What do you guys think? Project number 2, we're going to start out by using 2 of these hanging pots with the chains that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to remove the chains from both of them, and it's just super simple. I just took a pair of, as you see, needle nose pliers and pinched together those to release the chains from it. Once I have that done, then I'm going to take one of them and flip it over. Now you see that it has the 3 spots where those chains were hooked to them, and I'm going to kind of try to even it out around there, because what you're going to do is basically it's going to be over, under, over, under each one of those little, I don't know, little knobbies that are around there. And that'll help to secure it together, because we're also going to take it out and paint this. So once you kind of finesse the wire, it's real easy to kind of move it around and get it to go that way. But I did decide to go ahead and put a couple of zip ties opposite sides to help secure this just a bit more. And I'm just going in where one of those little, I call them knobbies, I don't know what the little loops where the chains were, going in with the zip tie, and then I will do that on both sides, like I said, opposite each other. You can do as many of them as you feel you need to. Once you get them good and secure, we're going to cut off that excess, and then we will be ready to paint. Doesn't that already start to look like a little pumpkin form? I thought this was so cute. So now we're ready to paint, and I'm going to be using my Rust-Oleum paint in the color orange, I decided. And guys, if y'all don't have one of these, let me tell you, you need to get one. It's like $2-3 at Walmart, may even be $4, but it is so handy dandy. I have a couple of these, and they save your fingers. It is awesome to paint if you do a lot of spray painting, which I do. So I just began to go ahead and spray paint this away. And I really am glad that I went with the orange color instead of that cinnamon color that was down there, because it really pops at the end. Now guys, I have to apologize. I have lost some footage of me starting on this project. I pretty much got it finished and then realized that I didn't have but just a little bit of footage. So this is showing you what it looks like once it's dry. And I also had made this stem and also put some styrofoam in the center of it. Now I went ahead and pulled a little bit of it out because I really couldn't redo the whole thing, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I did here. Now one is I created these little ribbon loops to go in there just to kind of add a little bit of ribbon on the inside of it, and I just took my ribbon and cut about 10 inches off. And then I also take one of the little wire picks that you have on these floral picks that, you know, you cut them off and you have this left, and this was from something else. So I just pulled off a little piece of that. And at one of the cut ends, I put about an inch of it right in the center of hot glue. And then I take and lay the stick right down on it, and then sandwich the other side down on top of it. Now be careful because of course this ribbon is porous and it will kind of come through there, so be super careful with the hot glue. You'll notice that the sides of course are not secure, so we're going to go ahead and put just a little dab of glue on one side of it, and then we'll place a dab of glue right there next to the stick, and then we're going to fold it over. Again, being super easy, super careful. You can wear the little rubber things if you need to hold it down until it sets. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. And you'll have your little ribbon loops. Now once you have everything prepared, you've cut all of your pieces. Of course, you see I have the styrofoam down in there, and of course I do wind up covering the bottom of that styrofoam with some burlap, and you just begin to stick your picks in wherever you want. And of course this is where you're going to make it your own. And of course I did a real fall colors and everything, but you can do flowers, you can do sunflowers, just whatever it is that you would like to put in here. Now when you're doing your picks, make sure that when you're preparing them, cut them as far down as long as you can make them, because you will, once you see that you need them cut shorter, then you can cut them and then put it in. But once you get it all put together, it is your own. You have made it your own, and you see I'm going in with some of my ribbons here and just making it pretty. Now that all your florals are done, what I did to make my little stem look here, I took some of the floral foam, a little piece of it, wide enough to fit that hole, and then I just took it and pushed it down to make an image on the bottom, and then I just cut it out. I took some burlap ribbon that I had and wrapped it around and covered it, folding it over using a little bit of hot glue to create this kind of a rustic looking stem at the top. So I really wanted a bow to the front, but I didn't want anything heavy, and I have this, I don't really know what kind of ribbon you call it. I just kind of call it a see-through burlap. It's that type of feel to it, but it's real, I don't know, translucent almost. And so I just made a simple loop and then pulled it down like you saw there, cut it off, and then I'm going to use pit berries to secure it. And you'll see that I'm go in with some more pit berries. I love these things. I just think they really make your project look real whimsical, and I just love it. Once you have it wrapped up there, I had to trim off a few of the little pit berries there. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to attach it and find my front, and then I'm just going to attach it right there on the little wire. And then the last thing that I do is I'm going to take some of these pit berries and I'm going to wrap it around the stem, twisting it in the front, and then of course creating some of those spirals again, using a stick again, a little bit bigger one this time because I wanted some bigger little spirals. But guys, I just think that this is going to be something that is going to definitely be in the center of my Thanksgiving table. I just absolutely love how it turned out. It really, you can see the pumpkin, but you can also see just how that it's really bringing in some of those florals. You know I've got to do a floral piece. So let me know what you think of this piece down in the comment section below. I'm so glad that you guys joined me today, and I hope that you love both of these pumpkin projects as much as I do. And if this is the first time that you're joining me, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Consider sticking around and becoming a part of the Fixer family by hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload new videos. Now, I upload new videos every Sunday and would hate for you to miss a single one. And if no one has told you today, you are absolutely amazing. And always remember to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.